Nationalism 101. Congo, China, India, Brazil, Israel. Nationalism has gotten a negative connotation as of late.
I want to challenge ideas of xenophobia, racism and nationalism.
Nationalist sentiment has put Sweden on the verge of change. That's what the polls here are predicting for the upcoming general election. The anti-migrant Sweden Democrats Party looks set to make big gains. They define themselves as social conservative with a nationalist foundation. But the Swedish media is warning of something more, and so are rival politicians.
It is a racist party with Nazi roots. That's what I've always said.
A court has officially banned a notorious Russian nationalist group. The Slavic Union was found guilty of the widespread incitement of racist hatred and extremism.
Spot on. There's so many racist bigots in this country, and they're everywhere. And it's like, I don't know about, like I was talking to someone earlier about this, but the Australian flag to me has now become, I identify that with racism.
But it is absolutely unacceptable to me that in the year 2016, we have people like Donald Trump and others who are trying to gain votes by scapegoating people who may be Muslims or people who may be Latinos.
I regret the heartburn that has poured forth upon this Congress and this country, and especially in my state.
That's as close as Iowa Congressman Steve King came to apologizing today for comments being called abhorrent, racist, and reckless by members of his own party. In a New York Times interview published Thursday, the Republican lawmaker asked, white nationalist, white supremacist, Western civilization, how did that language become offensive? Facing a growing backlash, today King took to the House floor to explain himself.
Under any fair political definition, I am simply an American nationalist.
What's your reaction to that?
Well, it's old-fashioned for a reason. There's a lot of things that are old-fashioned that we don't do anymore, like, ideally discriminate and use race, to put one race over another. And when most people think of nationalism, they think of superior cultures. That's what we saw, in Germany and Italy, and even, in the United States during the era of slavery. So we don't want to go back to that. It's okay to be patriotic, but what the president is suggesting, I think, is putting one culture over another, and that's not a path forward for the United States I want to live in.
On the campaign trail, you called yourself a nationalist. Some people saw that as emboldening white nationalists. Now people are also saying that the president...
That's such a racist
There
question.
are some people that say that now the Republican Party is seen as supporting white nationalists because of your rhetoric.
That. Nationalism is often associated with racism, xenophobia, and other meaningless buzzwords meant to make people believe that nationalism is somehow immoral. Most dictionaries would have you believe that nationalism is some kind of devotion to a state, its laws, its offices, and its infrastructure. But true nationalism is much deeper and older than that. A nation is actually a group of people who have a shared ancestry, history, and set of values. This group of people, or nation, feels a deep sense of duty as it pertains to the preservation of that nation. The state is just an expression of that people's sacred beliefs, behaviors, customs, and mores. If the people inhabiting the territory of a state changes significantly, so too will the character of that state to reflect the characteristics of the new people.
Holidaymakers watch as the migrants scramble to reach the shore, jump out and run across the beach.
The tiny country has buckled under the strain of some 62,000 arrivals since then, with camps and reception centres full to bursting.
The tide of humanity overwhelms Hungarian police near the Serbian. They vastly outnumber the authorities, and they are desperate to continue their journey into Europe in the hope of a better life.
We don't want to stay here. We have to dance. We don't have anything. The border closed. We are going. We want to walk. By walk.
Sunday, the caravan lurched forward in this rushing river of migrants.
Nationalism is really about the preservation of the unique characteristics of peoples. Because if you don't preserve your nation, you'll only be able to speak freely to a teddy bear in your mom's basement. Nationalism 101 with Mr. Nation.